I mean, do you think that women in politics or, in other, more public positions would actually feel comfortable saying that one of the solutions to the gridlock in Congress, which we're all totally frustrated about, is to have more women there?
Right. Well, that is something that Hillary Clinton will say, for example. I mean, she likes to tout herself as an outsider, as a woman. I mean, let's face it, she is an outsider as a woman. You could, of course, make the counter argument that she's been in some level in political life for at least 20 years. But that is one thing that she says about women, and that we bring a different perspective, we bring different priorities. I saw her on the Today Show, I think it was yesterday. There was a town hall meeting in New Hampshire. And she was somebody asked her that sort of question, what do you bring as a woman to the presidency? And she talked about the different sorts of issues that she might champion as a woman. Pay inequities, child care issues, elder care issues that she asserted were not necessarily in the mainstream of our everyday politicians' life
but they're
thinking.
In the mainstream of our everyday person.
Right, yeah. And so that may have resonated with people, we'll see. But in terms of being brave enough to say it, she's saying it. I don't know how many other women are going to say it. I mean, she's got some experience that other women don't have. Carly Fiorina is relatively new in the political world, even though she's had some business leadership, and she's still out there trying to prove her strengths and her experiences in politics, and what she brings from the business world to the political world. And Hillary Clinton has a longevity that she doesn't necessarily have to do that.
Right.
We are bringing some expert from campus out here every Tuesday to engage in conversations with people on the street about, you can ask me about my area of expertise, and I'll
what
ask
is your
you
area of
about
expertise?
Yours. Women in politics. I study women in politics. I'm not in politics myself, but I study women. I've written a book on women and gender in the presidency, and I'm very interested in this political election because of the two women on each side.
Absolutely.
So
how long have you studied this area?
Oh gosh, since the late 1990s.
Okay.
I was first interested in women in governorships and why there were so few women in governorships.
Right.
And then, of course, that led me to think a little bit more broadly about the presidency and why we haven't elected a woman president in the United States, but other countries have. So what are they doing differently? And what might we learn from other countries, in addition to what can I learn about our own political culture that might make it difficult for us?
What have you concluded? What are some of your
Well, I
conclusions?
think that part of the problem is that the presidency, when we think about the presidency, we think of a man in a particular office. For example, I'll give you this anecdote. When my mother was telling her friends that I had the opportunity to interview governors all over the country, her friend said, "Oh, what did she learn from him?" There was the assumption that there was a him in the office, and I think that's the same thing for the presidency. And as a result, that affects the way that we view that office and view what's possible in that office. And if a woman tries to run for that office, that she's kind of in a double bind. I mean, she's, does she act like a man? Well, then if she's acting like a man, then she's not an appropriate woman, and then that's sort of suspect. Or does she embrace her femininity, in which case she's going to come across, or potentially come across, as too weak for the office. And so we've got to
act like a lady, but work like a dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we've got to figure out what that looks like if there's a woman to be elected to that office.
Right.
Wonderful. Well, it was so nice to talk to you.
It was nice talking to you
Thank you.
too.